So, where is Superman after Man of Steel? What's his position in the world, and what's the world's position towards him?
Superman is, well, first of all, he's Superman, as opposed to Kal-El or Clark. And, I mean, he's all three, but he's, for the first time, Superman. And I think we hear the word uttered once in that movie, and that's in the third act. And now he's officially Superman, that's all he's referred to as. And so he's in a place of, he's taken on the mantle of the world's protector. And it's a mantle which feels right. It sits well. It's a heavy one, but it sits well. The tricky thing is that mankind views him in very differing ways. The most obvious divide is those who see him as a hero and those who see him as a potential threat or fear him. He was prepared for the idea of people fearing him because his father warned him off when he was a boy, as we saw in Man of Steel. He wasn't prepared, however, for people to accuse him of doing evil and to make him the bad guy, because essentially he's done nothing but try and be the good guy and save everyone, and it hurts him that he can't save everyone. And so it hurts him even more that people then accuse him of evil.
And that causes a confrontation with Batman, amongst other characters. But what is it? How different is Batman and Superman's approach towards dealing with justice and with bad guys?
Batman is willing to inflict pain to send a message and give the lesson. Superman does his utmost to avoid that. And therein lies a big difference. Superman, however, has the luxury of that choice because he's a superpowered alien who can stop most things with minimal to no effort, where Batman doesn't have that. And that leads to the different methods of dealing justice.
And how is it to work those scenes opposite an actor like Ben Affleck?
Terrible. He's a horrible man. Working with Ben is great. I like Ben a lot. He's got a wonderful sense of humor, which is needed when you're playing Batman, because otherwise you'd be a miserable person to work with.
And you also have, again, wonderful chemistry with Amy. Now that that relationship has continued moving forward, what a great character Lewis is. And I wanted to ask you about the importance of that character in this story, and of just the pleasure of working with Amy again.
Amy, as you know, wonderful person and a wonderful actress. And the more I get to work with her, the better. We touched on a little bit the story and development of their relationship in this movie. There's still plenty of room to grow there and plenty of space to move. But it was nice to see, I think it's 2 or 3 years, I think it's 2 years on, how they've developed and how they've settled into a relationship. Of course, there are complications to having a relationship with a superpowered alien, but there are complications in every relationship.
The movie wouldn't work if there weren't a powerful villain behind it, and there is, in Lex Luthor, of course. But I also thought that Jesse did an extraordinary job there.
He did indeed, and I will echo those thoughts. And Jesse brings something to Lex Luthor which is... there's a menace there, which is underlying everything he does. And you don't see it at first because of the presentation that Lex Luthor, Jesse, makes. And the wonderful thing is that Superman never suspects until it's the very, very last moment. And Jesse brings all of that into a very, very complex and subtle performance.
And what does Zach bring to it all?
Zach, as we all know, has a unique and special visual style, which no one can imitate. And Zach's ability to provide such a wonderful setting for these two characters to come together in, and a world in which seems real and fantasy at the same time. It's that sort of ultra-realism, imagination blend, and that, I think, provides the best of settings for this kind of story.